All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Harold Reynolds, and I'm with the MLB Network. My honor to host this. Today, this is a very special presentation. We're presenting the Commissioner's Historic Achievement Award. It was created in 1998 and is recognized achievements and accomplishments and contributions of historical significance in baseball. There have only been 11 recipients of this prestigious award, and it was last given in 2007 when the Commissioner honored Rachel Robinson for her continued legacy of her late husband, Jackie Robinson, and her service to Major League Baseball. So today, I'd like to turn this over to Commissioner Selig, and he'll tell you about his special guest and his special presentation. Mr. Commissioner?
Thank you, Harold. As always, well done, Harold.
Thank you, sir.
I think. Do we give him
Yeah, we give him to him.
I guess okay. I asked if we give him good marks. He said, I guess so.
That works. He always said that.
Well, I'm honored to be here today to present the Commissioner's Award for Historic Achievement to Ken Griffey Jr. It's been 4 years, as Harold said, since I've had the privilege to bestow this award, and frankly, I can't think of anyone more deserving. Ken's retirement came quickly, and he never got the send-off that I felt and many felt he so richly deserved. I think this award is a fitting way for Major League Baseball as an institution to say thank you to one of its all-time really great players. His career is obviously Hall of Fame worthy. There's no doubt about that. If you look at his accomplishments, it is clear that he was one of the greatest players to ever step on a baseball field. He was a third-time All-Star, 10-time Gold Glove Award winner. He was, and how well I remember this, the youngest member of Major League Baseball's all-century team. He ranks fifth all-time with 630 home runs. Was the unanimous winner of the 1997 American League Most Valuable Player Award. But you can't measure Ken Griffey Jr.'s impact on his impressive numbers alone. The manner in which he carried himself made him among the most popular players for this past generation. Played the game with a smile and with an enthusiasm that showed how much he loved playing baseball. From his knack for stealing home runs to his swing, which was one of the smoothest, most beautiful that I personally have ever seen, his ability made him electric to watch. All of you know how much I love history, and there are little things that happen in the sport. And I remember him racing around the bases to score the winning run against the Yankees in 1995, sending the Mariners to the American League Champion Series for the first time in their history. It was a Sunday night call. I remember I was just walking in the house, my phone was ringing. Ken called me, and it was his idea to wear number 42 as a tribute to Jackie Robinson on the day commemorating his historic achievement. He asked my permission to do that, and I, of course, granted it. Told me a lot, however, about Ken, how much he understood the history, how much he understood the impact of Jackie Robinson, and so I've often gotten credit for something, but really, he made a phone call to me on a Sunday night at home that I'll never forget. So, with Ken leading the way, it began to catch on with other players, eventually led to all on-field personnel throughout baseball wearing number 42 on Jackie Robinson Day, a tradition that continues to this day and will continue at least as long as I'm around. So, Ken, I'm grateful for your contributions to our national pastime. You are a joy to watch, and your highlights and accomplishments will be appreciated for decades to come. And for a myriad of reasons, staying out of controversy, playing the game the way it was supposed to be played and should be played, this is a pleasure to award the Commissioner's Award for Historic Achievement. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's all you.
Oh, I figured. First of all, thank you. I mean, this is a truly an honor. just to have my name even brought up in the conversation about getting this award means a lot, and to actually be able to take it home is something that I will remember for the rest of my life. And there's a lot of people that I like to thank. I mean, first it would be my mom and dad, my family, my wife, my 3 kids, for letting me continue to play baseball after they were born. If you listen to my oldest, he was like, "You should have stopped a long time ago so you can hang out with me." The Mariners for drafting me, giving me a chance to go out there and fulfill my dream of playing Major League Baseball. Then I go to Cincinnati for letting me come home, where I grew up, and even Chicago for rejuvenating me as a baseball player, and my beliefs in the game. It's I had ups and downs like everybody, but I can tell you that this is everything that I've done in this game I wouldn't change. I came in this game just wanting to play baseball, my love for baseball. It wasn't because I thought I was going to win an award. It was because of the guys that I watched on TV, not necessarily my dad, but, everybody else, that, the smiles on their face from, the Willie Randolph, the Kirby Pucketts, all these guys were a big part of Ricky Henderson. I mean, all these guys, were there, when I was just about that age to say whether I do want to play football, do want to play baseball. And they were like, you play baseball, you have fun, look at us, and things like that. And when I finally talked to my dad about, playing baseball, he was like, go out there and just give it your best shot and, see what happens. He said, you're going to be bigger, stronger. Didn't say faster. He just said bigger, stronger, which he said, you're going to hit more home runs. And I was like, yeah, okay, just like any other son, not believing their dad until it actually happens. And, I give a lot of credit to, the guys, all my teammates who pushed me, especially, the guy over to my right with Harold, as a kid, coming up there, he was my big brother. I mean, he was the guy, hey, we're going to do this, we got to do this, this is how you act like a major leaguer. These are the things that you're going to have to do if you want to be successful. And I learned that at an early age, 19-year-old kid being in the big leagues, you're just free range in everything. It's just running around. And I had, like I said, I had guys who really took care of me, and a lot of this award also goes to them, because without them, I wouldn't be me. I mean, and I can't say enough for the guys in the organization, and my family, and Bud for, of course, even thinking about me. So with that, I want to thank everybody, and it's humbling.
Well said. I often was asked when Ken was 19 what I thought about him, and I said, well, he skipped 3 years in the big leagues by going to high school. He was that great. At 19, he was that great. We're going to open it up for questions and try to stick to the subject here of the Commissioner's Achievement Award today. So, open up. Any questions? Go ahead.
Ken, Commissioner Selig mentioned that your retirement was quick, and I'm wondering if you felt at all that you didn't get to enjoy your retirement as many, perhaps other great players did.
No, not really. I've always said, when it's time for me to go, I'm going to go. I mean, it's not that I want to have a cross-country tour and get a rocking chair, and, I got called a fossil a couple times from a couple teammates, but no, I just felt it was time, and I'm a firm believer that, I didn't want to have that added pressure of my teammates asking and getting asked all the questions. So, I made the decision and stuck to it.
For the next question, I want to acknowledge a couple people here. President of the Mariners, Mr. Chuck Armstrong, his wife Susan are in town. They came all the way from Seattle. If Ken considered me his big brother, I know that's his dad. Trust me, I learned that firsthand. So, appreciate you coming out. Next question. Bye.
Yeah, dude, congratulations. Now that you've had a couple of years, or I don't know, a year and a half or so to reflect on your career, what do you want people to most remember you for?
That I enjoyed baseball. I went out there and played hard and, enjoyed it, had a smile, and that I cared a lot about the game itself.
Next question.
Junior, congratulations. Just building off that point about the swift exit, does receiving this award, coming here to the World Series, does it feel like any kind of closure in some way, the closure you didn't get maybe a year ago?
Yeah, no. I mean, when I made up my mind on the retirement, I didn't. I think everybody knows I didn't like a whole lot of press. I just wanted to be me, and I didn't want to have my teammates put in a situation, and I think that was the biggest thing. But having the award, it's some closure to not a whole lot of people. 11 other people have gotten this award, so it's definitely the closure that I needed.
One up top. Got a microphone.
The stats are impressive and your game is impressive, but I think that one of the things that's most impressive is your respect for the game. You touched on it briefly, but were you taught to respect the game? And did you realize at a young age that you did respect the game?
I had guys like Chuck Harmon Sr., Joe Black, Willie Mays, Willie Stargell. All these guys come to my house as a kid, and all these guys talked about baseball and what it meant to them. And I'm still really close with Mr. Harmon Sr. and of course Willie. And Willie is the godfather to all of us, and so when he says something, we all just sat there and listened. We were like little kids. When he came to the house, I've got, from Lee May Jr. To Frank Fields to Cornelius, all these guys were at my house, and he would come in and he'd talk to us, and we'd all sit there like, okay, this is him. And he was just like the respect that he had for the game, and the things that he went through to play this game that a lot of us, will never know. And could never fathom what he had to deal with day in and day out. And from that point on, it was just go out and play. He said, we did all the hard work. It's time for you to just go out and play and have fun. And that's the attitude that we all took.
Junior, do you have a favorite game or moment looking back? And Commissioner, did you have a moment where you saw Junior play and you were like, this kid's going to be a star?
You first.
You want me to go first? Well, I talked about 95, so I'll never forget that. I mean, it was Chuck Armstrong knows this better than I did, but the season was so critical because it really kept the Mariners in Seattle, and it was really amazing. You talk about in history how little things happen, and here's this remarkable performance by a great young player. Oh, you knew he was something very special. I guess, look, there are certain times in a long career where you see, I remember when Hank Aaron came to the Braves because I was there and I saw it. And you knew from the first time you saw him there was something special. First time I saw him, I said to myself, this is another instance. This guy is really special. And he was.
Right off of that, before you ask your question, we got Chuck Armstrong here. Chuck, you want to make a quick comment? Hand the microphone to you right there.
I remember when we drafted Kenny back in 1987, Commissioner, we were actually in trust then, as our owner then, George Argers, was trying to buy the Padres. And,
Oh, how well I remember.
Yes, sir.
It's another one of those. That isn't called one of the great memories I have in baseball.
So it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and Ken and Brian were in Cincinnati, and Dick Balderson was our GM, Roger Youngwood was our scouting director, and we had settled on Ken, and I said, because we were in the situation, we wanted to make him our number one, and never regretted it. And Harold said, I do view Ken like a surrogate son and almost like a member of our extended family, Susan and I and our family do. So it's been an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to watch him grow up and have him be a Seattle Mariner and to have him come back and work for us now that he's retired from the game.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck.
Go ahead, Mike, right there. He's got a question.
Yeah, you obviously tore up a lot of parks in your career, but at this particular place, your numbers were pretty outrageous. I was wondering if you had any recollections or anything that got your juices going here.
Friends and family who live here. There are some parks that when family comes to visit you, you don't want them to talk about you when they drive you home. So, I have some friends, like I said, and family who live here and would travel up here. It was a place where a lot of the families came on the trip. I remember, we would have, 8 to 10 of the families here in Texas, especially, the Buners. They'd bring up the whole, and I didn't want to hear them the next day at the pool talk about me, or the walk when the ballpark was just across the street, talk about me down that walk. It was like the walk of death coming to the hotel. So it was a little easier to get focused when you have some people getting on you. And to answer your question, probably playing with my dad. Playing with my dad was probably one of the biggest things. I tell everybody, and I told him, I said, for 17 years you protected me. For the next 6 weeks I get to protect you. And, he laughed. And I learned a lot about hitting in that time. With him, if he got the fastball, I knew I wasn't going to get it the first pitch. And when he got a curveball, I was like, yes, finally. I watched him set up pitchers. It was somebody who looked like me that I had total trust in. And, it was just one of those things that actually helped me out, because I'd see him swing at a changeup, and the guy would never throw it again. And I'm like, that don't never happen to me. I swing at a changeup, he's throwing it right back. And he could miss it by a foot, and they would never throw it. He goes, if you swing hard enough, they'll never throw it again. And I said, okay. And towards the end of my career, I started working out. But early in the career, it didn't work out so well. But playing with him was probably the biggest thing, because, it's not that me getting up. It was a combination of me getting up fast and him hanging around and playing through a couple work stoppages and things like that. We won't have no problems with that no more, please. It was definitely playing with him.
We got about 5 more minutes, and then we'll keep moving. So, yeah, go ahead. You're next, sir.
Junior, congrats. Aside from the obvious, what was the inspiration behind you starting the movement to wear Jackie's number and your call to the commission?
The things that he did. If he didn't play, you never know how long it's going to take for another African American to play. And would my dad have played? And would I have the love for the game if my dad didn't play? So, he was the start of it all for, not just African Americans, but, everybody else to play. And, it was my way of respecting him for what he did. For him wearing that uniform allowed me to wear my uniform. And you have to give thanks in a certain way, and it was my way of saying thank you to him for allowing that to happen.
Great answer. In the corner back there.
Junior, congratulations. And also, this was the first year we went through in about 4 decades we didn't have a Griffey in the box scores. How long will it be before we get to see another Griffey in the box scores?
It might be in a different box. He's more of a football person. I spend. What did you do?
I just grimaced. I was joking.
Oh, well, I can't really.
It's okay.
Now, my little guy, he may be, I got a chance there. But my oldest is like, no. But I mean, he Trey, like everybody, my dad let me pick my sport, and I let him pick his. And the guys who've seen him, he actually swings like me, just like me. He has a little more pop than I did at that age, but he just doesn't like baseball. And that's fine.
We'll have to talk to him.
I tried. I tried, and his grandfather tried.
All right.
Now, my youngest, he likes baseball. He's your Ricky Henderson. Throws left, hits right. But he's, I had to stick him at third base one game because he wasn't getting enough ground balls, and then I made him catch, a left-handed catcher. Imagine that. But it was one of those things that, like I said, my dad let me choose what I wanted to do, and I have great respect for Trey for saying, this is what I want to do. You guys, did what you want to do. This is what I want to do, and as a dad, I've got to, support that and try to help him out as much as possible. I have some great friends who've been there, Ricky Waters and Thurman Thomas, who were there, who help him out, and so I don't have to answer all those tough questions because he'll ask something and I'll go, and I'll look at them and they'll answer, and I'll thank you. Hopefully, in a couple years, my youngest will decide which one he wants to play and maybe to be baseball.
We'll wrap it up with 2 more things. Junior, kind of what are you doing today? Talk about what you're doing today, and then I'll let the commissioner wrap it up, and then I'll be out.
I'm the assistant head coach for a 9-year-old high-powered offensive football team. My daughter plays basketball and Trey's football, so I spend most of my days going to practice. And when I'm not at practice, I go around, still working with the Mariners. I go around to all the minor league affiliates and help out the young kids and get inside their head and have them ask me all the tough questions that they really don't want to ask somebody that's a coach. So it goes a long way. I'm trying to help those guys out. It's my way of giving back to them. I don't have to sit there and make the decisions who goes where. I help out everybody. Just call me in the middle of the night. I'll talk to you if you got a problem. You're not seeing the ball. You're pulling the ball. I don't. I'm not offensive, defensive. Specialist. I'm an organization guy. Pitchers come. Hey, how do I get this guy out? What is he doing? So I really enjoy traveling to the minor leagues. I drive my bus around. My friends call it the Madden Mobile, which is fine, but I really love what I'm doing, and maybe I'll go a little further and do a little more. But right now, it's watching the kids grow up and helping other kids try to achieve their goal.
I learned a long time ago, you give the commissioner the last word. So when he's finished, we're finished.
And there are some that thought you were finished years ago. So
This is true.
Harold is one of my favorites, so I feel like... Well, I want to say, and as we talk about this award and consider who wins it, you always look back in each generation and say to yourself, if the next wave, the next great generation of players will watch somebody, they'll learn not only to respect the game, how to play the game, how to act. I hope the next generation of players emulates Ken Griffey Jr., because they'll have done a remarkable job. Thank you.